Hey everyone. Sorry about that. Taking a little bit of time to get going this morning. I'm trying to solve this YouTube problem. And I am now live on YouTube. I'm just not where I want to be, unfortunately, in terms of where I'm actually being broadcast. I'm working on this kind of YouTube live streaming issue, and I thought I had it solved for today's show, but unfortunately, when I actually went to go live, it's now not doing what I thought. So I'm going to drop a URL quick into, I guess, Twitch chat. And if someone on Twitch could just real quick follow that link and let me know where in the world it resolves for you. Chat. And there I am again. But it's not where I want it to be. Okay, well, I'm live on YouTube. It's just not where I want it to be. We're going to have to run with it because we have a show to do. Yes, well, so I'm going to talk a little bit about this chair here, actually, in just a little bit. This is a chair that was provided to me for the work that you all did for Extra Life, and I'm going to be passing this chair along at the end of the Extra Life drive here this year to somewhere local. But so we hit our goal on Extra Life, right? And so for hitting that goal so quickly, we got a thing from DX Racer here. It's a nice little chair, and I picked it up, I accepted it, and I'm going to pass it along to a local kind of charity group at the end of the Extra Life thing. But I thought, since you all did all the work, it might make for a decent backdrop here for the next week and a half or 2 weeks while we do the Extra Life drive. And then I'm going to, like I say, move it around to somewhere local. So that's the deal on the chair. It is actually comfortable, let me tell you. I'm trying to get my back going, but it's not staying. It's not staying in the house. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am DDO's Community Manager, Cordovan, and I'm here with you for the next hour. I'm going to be on Lamania. We're going to talk a little bit about the new Augment System. We're going to dive deep into it, and we are going to perhaps do a little Night Revels or play the new Update 47 quest, The Price of Freedom. All of that is on the agenda here in the near future here for the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry I'm running late today. I've been having some technical issues the past couple of weeks. There were just some updates to like YouTube Studio, XSplit. A combination of all those things has just led to a situation where I've had troubles getting the stream going the last couple of weeks. So sorry about that, but I'm working on it. At one point, it'll be a seamless thing, and it's going to almost look like I'm a professional. Any word on ASMR racial magical training fix to meet the Fadark Illusionist requirement? I have not heard anything about that. Can you vote for the rewards for Hardcore Season 4? Cool idea, but no, sorry. We don't have anything to announce regarding Hardcore Season 4 at the moment. I can tell you that it's not going to be like what we had started to do, which was, approximately month and a half or so between month and a half between seasons. We're not going to be doing that right away. We're taking a little more time because we've got a busy fall and winter here. So it's going to be a little bit before we bring back Hardcore, I think. Stay tuned. We'll be having discussions in the near future, but we'll see what we end up doing there. But we've got, Fables of the Feywild to get out. We've got Night Revels going on right now. There's all sorts of plans, and so we'll see what we end up doing in terms of where the next Hardcore season falls. Sure, though, we would love to know what you liked and disliked about the rewards for the Hardcore season now that we've had 3 of them. So that as we are planning for Season 4, it's a great opportunity to sort of think about, okay, so what do you actually want? Let's not go power crazy here or anything, but what of the rewards you've seen have you particularly liked? Which ones were troublesome or perhaps, in your mind, not worth the effort, whatever. So, there you go. Transfers from Hardcore. I will have to... Yeah, I was of the impression that that was currently possible, but I guess I haven't actually tried in a while. And I've been camping. So my internal calendar is all over the place right now. But I thought it was still available. Yep. You know what? We can actually find out live on the air here in a bit. But I've got other things I need to take care of here as well. Alright, I am seeing a chat in YouTube. So, hey, for any of you who can actually find this live, the URL should be youtube.com/dungeonsanddragons/live. And up until about mid-September, that worked just fine. And then suddenly it stopped working fine. And I have yet to be able to successfully stream to that URL since. So, sorry about that. Alright, hey, let's get to the fun stuff, though. So, what I'm going to show you now is something that is not yet public, but will be within maybe even an hour here-ish. We are going to be putting up a new preview of Fables of the Feywild on Lamania. It's going to be running for the next couple of days, and we have a dev event set for Thursday. That means the developers are going to be in there and actually hanging out with you, answering your questions in chat and what have you. So it's a really fun time and a great opportunity. Strongly suggested if you want to do that. But I am going to... I can't actually just link to the page, so I'm going to have to do some kind of screen capture and be careful about what I capture here. But I think this should work, and I can get you the notes from staging. Yes. Alright. These are thanks to one Kokomajobo. Let me make sure my top tabs are acceptable. Yep, I've got... Hey, let's cause a cycle through the universe. Oh, see, that's where it should be streaming. And that's where it is streaming. That's how I see it. Anyway, let's get back to the preview notes. That's why we are actually here. I'm also going to boost up the text so that you can read it before I move over to my camera and then do that. That should work okay, I think. So let me bring my camera back in. Hi, everybody. These are the Update 48 Preview 2 notes, which are going to be going live this afternoon on Lamania. The reason I wanted to bring in these notes is not only so you can get an early look at some of the changes, but so that we can delve deep into the world of augments. I actually do have Lamania being updated in the background. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my admin character set in time for the show, so either we're going to have to do that live, or we won't actually need to be on Lamania for most of this. So, this is what will be going on. Opening up this afternoon, remain open until Friday afternoon-ish. There's a dev event Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be previewing 13 of the Feywild dungeons, the new Wilderness Adventure area, the new public area, the new named loot, new Augment System, and new Augments. I'm not going to go into some of the bug changes from Preview 1, but as clearly would be expected for a first preview to a second preview, there's generally polish work being consistently done, and that's really what we're talking about here. Except, I wanted to call this out, because this may arrive before Feywild releases, depending on how it goes. We have been hearing from you, and we are well aware of the chat and friends list issues that have been going on for a while now. We made big progress by solving... I probably shouldn't say... probably solving something in the range of 80% of everybody's problems by work that was done maybe a week and a half ago now. But there is still some persistent stuff that's been going on, and our engineering team has been working to try to fix it. While doing that work, they also did some work to improve how guild and guild officer chat is being handled on the back end. What this means is it should greatly improve how quickly guild chat is available after a world restart. Generally it takes like up to an hour, right? And how fast it recovers after a reconnection between the game servers and the chat server. So we think part of what's been going on is that it's not been very responsive to when there's maybe a slight disconnection or something like that. And it's not repopulating as quickly as it can. So we're going to be doing that. And so hopefully this is what you would call a little bit of a risky change, but it should be fine. That's also part of why it's on Lamania here. So let's take a look at it, shall we? And see how fast it recovers and how your experience is with, say, guild chat here on Lamania. Additionally, text chat messages sent to general advice, trade, party, guild officer, player created chat rooms will now be displayed to you after they go to the chat server and back. This means that if you are not connected to the chat server, it won't look like you're chatting with your guild, for example, when you're only chatting with yourself. So the way it was going, and whatever, let's just not get into it. You would type, hit enter, it would display for you, go to the chat server, and then if there was a chat server issue, it might not let you know that. So this will let you know that because you will simply not see the things from which you type and hit enter should there be a chat issue with the game world, which is an improvement over hitting enter, seeing it display in your user interface, and then not actually speaking to anybody. So that is a big change that'll be coming here in the near future. But also we are working on the wider chat issue. All right. So typically this is not something that would probably even be made public until it was real close to being done. But because of the nature of the chat issues we've been having, this will make a dramatic improvement, we believe, in that particular situation. So. All right. All right, so I'm trying to get to a couple of chat. Sapphire on Twitch. Why will the Constitution bonus on the enhancement tree for Shifter not pull through to the character screen and hit point calculation? That sounds like a bug, and one that we will need to fix here in the near future. Alright. New dungeons. I'll get to chat, but I want to make sure you at least have something fun to look at. There's a couple of new dungeons. I don't have anything to announce about when Feywild might be available for DDO points in the DDO store. When I do get information to provide to you about that, I will let you know. Actually, let me pull this over so I can see my... Where does my chat go? Where are you? There you are. YouTube chat. Why is the Shadow Blades from... Okay, Charisma only. Why is the Shadow Blades from the new Fadark Illusionist Charisma only and not Charisma Intelligence Wisdom like the other enhancements in the tree? I don't know. But I think you raise a good point that perhaps it could be. I need more monitors. You're right. I do need more monitors. Oh, and actually, I'll make sure that's not the actual screen. Okay, good. All right, what else do we want to do? Let us talk about why I'm actually bringing up these notes. The new Augment System is actually going to be pretty sweet. So let me take a look at that with you, and we can sort of work through it together. This whole post is new to this preview. Expected with the release of Update 48 is a revamp of Augments, just Augments, period. This, in large part, fundamentally changes the underlying structure of how Augments and Augment slots function. The post below will describe how these changes appear. So, what about the Augments you already have? Any Augment that is not slotted into an item, when you log in after the update, will be updated to both work with the new Augment system and reflect the power level of Caneth crafted augments at the minimum level of that augment immediately upon first logging in with no other action required on your part. So as long as they are not slotted, it's just going to do it. Any item that has an empty augment slot, when you log in after the update, will be updated to work with the new augment system immediately upon first logging in. So if you have an item with an empty augment slot, it will be updated to use the new system. Okay, so now the other one. Any item that has an augment slotted into an augment slot when you log in after the update will work just like it did before, unless you want to unslot that augment using a legacy augment unslotter. Legacy augment unslotters are a new item that'll be sold at the House Caneth crafting halls and other places for preview, which allows you to remove augments from legacy-style augment slots, and in the process convert that augment slot and the augment to work in the new system. So basically, everything should just update unless you've got something already slotted into an item with an augment slot. In that case, basically, it needs to be pulled out before it updates. You're going to be able to do that work by going and getting a legacy augment unslotter from House Caneth. Alright, so why would you want to do that? Well, because the new thing's pretty sweet, I think. Slotting augments is no longer done by double-clicking on the augment and dragging it into the crafting UI. Instead, you now drag the item you want to slot an augment into the augment slotting panel, located to the right of the inventory menu. From there, each augment slot available on the item will be displayed. Empty slots can be filled by dragging the correct color augment into the slot. Filled slots can be emptied by dragging a jeweler's toolkit over a slotted augment. And we will actually take a quick look at that, but I want to finish. We'll actually go on Lamania and take a look. Let me make sure I'm updated, and I can. Okay, for the purposes of preview safety, want to make sure I do not have this screen up. So, let me make sure that that is off right now before I do what I'm going to do. Just log into the game. It's called being careful and making sure that I'm doing the right thing. All right. I'm going to show you this UI. That's why I want to log it right now. Normally I would have done this before we go live, except that I am, except that I was updating it because we're so close to releasing that we had to update the game client. So there we are. Hi everybody. All right, now we're in the game world. Now let me make sure we're safe and then bring that screen back. Okay. So, slotting augments, filled augments can be emptied by dragging a jeweler's toolkit over a slotted augment. All normal augments that grant basic stats like Dex, spell power, will now provide a bonus equal to a Caneth crafted effect of the same min-level. This means a min-level 16 Diamond of Wisdom will now give you 8 Wisdom, matching level 16 Caneth crafted instead of the 5 it used to. That's more. There's a number of new basic augment types that cover stats not previously granted. You can see that list in the post below. We may not get to that, we'll see, but lots of stuff. We'll skim it at least. New named augments. Yes, new named augments. There are new named augments that can be gained from different sources. In the post below are lists of the new named augments and where to find them. Some can be found specifically in Fables of the Feywild content, others crafted using a combination of Threads of Fate, an empty soul vessel, which is going to be found in Fables, and various raid items. The list of these augments are in the post below. We're not going to go over the known issues. We're talking preview. You can look it up. So here we go. Like regular augments, new non-named augment will start being found in the same places other non-named augments are found, like a Sapphire of Stunning, Sapphire of Vertigo, Shatter, Accuracy, Dodge, Damage, basically a deadly effect, Spell Penetration. We're going to have new named augments. This is all new. Emerald of Bitter Wounds, Boon of Undeath. Every time you're struck, inflict light wounds cast on the character. That's a thing. Dismagica, Ruby of Feybane, Ruby of Disintegration. I'm not going to go through all this stuff. There's too much. But we're going to skim it here, and you will have an opportunity to see this. Plus, as soon as this goes public, someone else can copy and paste it into the wiki or whatever. It's fine. We don't need to read it out loud. Soul-forged augments. Each of the following can be soul-forged crafted with a combination of threads of fate, an empty soul vessel, and a specific named item. The augment, when placed in an item, will grant that item one of the effects. So, Essence of the Cloak of Strahd. You need 50 threads of fate, an empty soul vessel, and a Cloak of Strahd. It will be bound to account. Min level 30. Color yellow. You will have a soul-forged yellow augment. Invisibility Guard, for example. Null Scale Armor. Litany of the Dead. Constellation. Broken. Reforged. Mask. I mean, the list goes on, as you see. Set bonus augments. Colorless set bonus augments. Each of the following is a colorless augment. Slotting one of these augments into an item that already has a set bonus will cause that set bonus to be suppressed and replaced so long as this augment remains slotted with the set bonus listed on the augment. These can be slotted into items that do not have set bonuses as well. Perfect Silence to help you reach that set bonus if you want. Artifact bonus to sneak attack, plus 20 magic resist rating cap, 10% artifact bonus to AC, etc. And this list goes on as well. So set bonus augments. And then there's a bunch of named loot that I guess we should probably mention here in a second, but I think it is valuable at this point to call up the game client, make sure that is running for you, and actually show you before we turn our attention away from augments. I get an opportunity to look at your chat, get some feedback, and then also show off that UI. So typically what I do to most easily get an admin character going is just pick a path. If you ever find yourself on an admin character, that looks fine. Augmentia. All right. Reason for that is when you're trying to level up like this through the test dojo, actually there is practical application for you to have it. So, okay, so if you ever want a quick level a character up in the test dojo, for whatever reason, this is how to do it. As long as it doesn't really matter what your stats are so much, or at least they can be basic. Like on an admin character, of course, it doesn't matter what my stats are. I can set them to be whatever I want if it mattered, but it doesn't. So in my case, I just need to unlock the different levels, essentially. And so going by a path allows you to just go bang, 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 bang with all that fancy test dojo XP and level up a character super quickly if you need to. I picked fighter. Okay. But, and I will get some gear here actually too. I picked fighter. Here's the fighter trainer. Yes, I have eyes from which to see things. Okay. The command every single person wishes they had. Oh, I don't know. How much XP should I give myself? 1 million? Yeah, alright. Oops. Nope, nope, nope. I don't want to be a paladin. Let me talk to the right person. Stay on my path. I just wanted to make sure I had some levels and stuff so that I could try to get a augment and actually show you how it works a bit. Alright, that should be fine. Now, can I get some clothes on? Yes. If I can figure out where's my... There we go. I want to see augments and everything else. Heroic weapons. Okay. Pick up some coin. You can do this yourself shortly. Let's just for the purposes of... It doesn't look like... Okay. Yeah, just to make it easy, we'll pick a simple weapon of a dagger. Alright, so augment item. Now let's see if I can get some augments. Alright. So these are all ML30, huh? Okay, well there's got to be one. Here we go. Set augments. A lot of these are going to be, you know, higher level stuff. See what we got. Here we go, like, sure, why not? Easy enough just to show you how it's all going to work. There it is. Okay, so you're going to take, say, an augment that you have. Kaboom. Oops. Or a weapon that you have. Kaboom. And it'll take a red augment slot. I guess I should get myself a ruby then. I saw one earlier. That says 28.6. Okay. Alright, so you'll have an augment slot, and then you will drag it in. Permanently bind this augment. This will destroy any existing augment in the new slot. And then, bam, there you are. And it will have an augment. Alright, so does that make sense then? So then if you had items, I don't currently have any items that have multiple augment slots, but you'll have the same UI and you'll just be able to slot them. You'll be able to unslot it with a one of those jeweler's toolkits. So there's an empty soul vessel. I'm not going to get into the deeper stuff that I just read about set bonuses and all that sort of thing on the stream here. I'm just not quite ready to go that deep into it right now. And besides, we have some other stuff to get to. But I did want to show that off, and so you can kind of see how it is going to work. And what else? So we do have like set augment, tough shields, you know, there you go. And there's just a lot really to take a look at here, so that's pretty cool. Let's see if I can, what this says. Yeah, I mean, I'm not high enough level and stuff. So, there we go. Anyway, cool stuff, huh? So, there we are. Call that back up briefly, because I did want to finish by talking a little bit about the named loot, because we do have some loot stuff that we can talk about here. This is a nearly complete list of the loot that'll be found within Feywild. There are several moving parts here. And let's get into a section called Kokomajobo's Loot Facts. Kokomajobo's Loot Facts. Yeah, there we go. All right. Loot Fact 1. Items in Feywild will be using the same internal scaling that items in Sharn do. There is not a numerical jump up in power from going from Sharn to Feywild loot. Not directly, at least, although certainly those who have seen it on Lamania have told us that, you know, it's good stuff. That said, It is not a numerical jump in power from Sharn. So, any items that give a bonus to, like, say, Strength will give that same bonus to Strength in Feywild as it did in Sharn. Feywild Raid Loot will be of the same power level as Raid Loot and Sharn. And the U47 raids, that's Legendary Vision of Destruction, Master Artificer, Lord of Blades. And Feywild artifacts will be of the same power level as other artifacts. That means we're getting artifacts. This means it's entirely likely you'll be using some Sharn loot as well as some Feywild loot, owing in part to Loot Fact 2. Loot Fact 2. Alright. Legendary items in Feywild. Excluding weapons will drop in one of 4 total set bonuses, spring, summer, fall, winter. These set bonuses are not like the other at-cap set bonuses you may be used to. These sets contain a total of 15 items, and you'll need 7 of them to get the last set bonus. What this means is that the set bonuses work like filigree. They start out with the bonus for having 2 and then go up and up and up. It's entirely likely a player will only aim for, like, say, 5 or several 2 sets, or maybe a 2 and 3, or whatever works best for you. These set bonuses will not stack with the Sharn or Ravenloft set bonuses, so you'll be using these to fill around gaps and shore up weaknesses in your character, rather than, say, build around a set bonus type, which we have seen from some people related to Sharn and Ravenloft set bonuses. Loot Fact 3. The artifacts in Feywild are in 2 Feywild set bonuses at once, so yes, things just got more complicated. Loot Fact 4. Heroic items in the Feywild pack are all part of 1 all-seasonal set bonus. So there's a lot less complication at level 5. With that out of the way, let's take a look at what this all means. A lot of this comes from the design team, so some of the IVE, which we probably should change to Weave or something, comes as specific writing from the systems team. Sharn and Ravenloft sets are too restrictive in their slot choices. Players like the raw power of the sets, but they limit their freedom of our fabulous gear set builders too much. This is swinging hard in the other direction. My hope is this kind of slot freedom allows for more active choice when it comes to endgame play gear-wise. Also, the power jump from Ravenloft to Sharn disrupted some gear farming routes. They're trying to something different, an expansion pack without a formal item level boost. And if we can manage to build enticing gear without an eye level jump, I think we should. So far the answer has been, yeah, it's fine. It's good. Just don't tell them how powerful it is. This approach means if you're going for a full 7 set in a season, you'll need to find space for less than half of the available items, etc., etc. So, there we go. Let's go into, like, some of the set bonuses. Heroic. 2, it's a boost to maximum hit points, spell points, abilities, dodge, DCs, PRR, MRR. Spring. Missile deflection, dodge cap, helpless, sneak attack, MRR. Items. These are all things that, you can use to fill out the set bonuses. And again, I'm not going to go all the way through the list. You'll see it yourself in this level of granularity here in the near future. We have a raid orb called Hirsam's Fiddle. I think that's kind of neat. While this fiddle is equipped, you will use it to perform your bardic music. And that's kind of neat too. Oh, also, butterflies. A crown of butterflies. Also, Eminence of Summer set. Eminence of Autumn set. Eminence of Winter set. Minor artifacts. We're going to have some minor artifacts here in Feywild. Weapons. You just saw that Feybane dagger, one of each weapon type. It's a standard min-level 5 or 29 standard damage dice. Feybane, acidic, axiomatic, crystal, and red augment slot. That crystal, we can actually go, let me look up that crystal. That was an effect that didn't immediately strike me as super familiar, so let me see if I can figure out what that's about. Crystal. Rumor has it that the crystal this item is made from comes from Rydra and has certain qualities in common with Crysteel. Crystal weapons are able to overcome protective damage reduction of many Kori, which can be resistant to other weapons. Spell failure chances for armors and shields made from crystal are also decreased by 10%. So there we go. That's what with the crystal thing. And then you'll see things like the raid items and all that as well. Again, I guess we don't really need to go all into that. Miscellaneous items. These are also all new things, like a pet collar that does vulnerable and lethargy. Light armor. Raid rune arm. And that is all I have for you. But as you can see, we have some loot, don't we? There are things to look at. That's a lot. And you can see all that in the near future here on Lamania. So, hey, go check that out if you want to. Let me take a minute to go to chat before I do the next thing. Do something with the dull dagger. We did. Assuming you have another way into Lamania. It says it's not up yet here. Yes, Alan. Sorry. Maybe I should have made that clear. I am a super special person. No. I work for SSG. So I have the ability to get on an actual admin character here prior to Lamania being open. It's at the point where it's been updated and folks like this person here are actually, they're dancing in place, but they're actually doing work related to getting Lamania ready to open. Things like world properties and just all sorts of stuff that needs to be done. And we expect Lamania to be open here within the next hour or so. Can daily dice stack when not used? No. Oh my god. I mean, okay, I understand why you would want that. I totally understand why you would want that. But I think it is unlikely that we would be interested in promoting the stacking of XP dice ad infinitum, essentially, to the limits of your carrying capacity or whatever. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Nor one we are likely to support. I think we're already pretty generous with this stuff, though. Alright. 3-piece set bonus for augments, so you need to equip 3 augments to get the set bonus. Correct. Yep. Can I give an unbroken link to the Lamania download, please? Yes. That I can do. Keep in mind, Lamania is not currently open, but it's going to take you a while to patch up and stuff, so go check this out to access Lamania. And you can download the client, and by the time you get all up and running, it should be good. Alright, let me head over to the other chats here briefly. Mistho, I do not talk about other games. You know, I don't talk Lotro when I'm on DDO, and I don't talk DDO when I'm on Lotro. And I do that specifically so that any community concerns that would be raised by one of those games' populations would not feel obligated to have to pay attention to the other game's content. So I appreciate that you want me to answer a kind of a pressing question on the Lord of the Rings side right now, but I simply will not and cannot start doing that over on the other games channels. Thanks. Well, I'm going to need about 300 legacy on slaughters. Yeah. Thankfully, you can get them from House Caneth. Can you have an admin clicky on character creation, please? Sure. Why is Fabian crystal and not cold iron? That was a design choice specifically. I'm not quite sure why that would be. But it sounds like it would be pretty okay, though. I could bring that up to the team, though, that you think it should be cold iron instead. Do you really want it to be cold iron instead of working against Corey or whatever? Or maybe that would still work. Those are... hey, hi, Kokomojobo in Twitch chat. Those are Lynn's loot facts, not Kokomojobo's. Fine. All right. It was your post. Yeah. I am going through a plethora of Twitch chat that I have not gotten to. That's what I am stirring off in the distance and looking at. Weekend bonus. I will get to that. No, crystal are better. Crystal is better than cold iron. That was my impression as well, but I didn't want to say anything. Also, are Jeweler's Toolkits being phased out for the Plat-bought Onslaughters? No. Specifically, those Plat-bought Onslaughters are going to be used to unslot legacy augments from items. They'll be available for coin in House Caneth. The Jeweler's Toolkits will be used to unslot existing augments in the future here, you know, from your weapons, should you wish to. Otherwise, I guess, you know, I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that we have launched Fables of the Feywild pre-purchase. I think everyone's well aware of that at this point. But just in case you aren't aware, you can go to DDO.com, click on the DDO Market, and check out the new expansions. And we are live with that stuff. You get a whole bunch of bonuses right now. I would also remind you we have Night Revels going on. That's going on through November 3rd, so that's a pretty exciting thing that's happening right now as well. There isn't new loot this year, but I don't know if you're like me, you probably still have tons of loot that you can get from Night Revels from years prior, up to and including new Wisdom and Intelligence augments. That'll be updated, you know, whatever. Actually, I'm not sure if those specifically will be updated. I don't think they will be. Either way, there's stuff to get. And I've been enjoying that quite a bit. So, also, we have the new quest, Price of Freedom, that came out with Update 47. So if you have not had a chance to check that out, you could find that over in the Searing Heights area. Ran that with my guild this past week, and we had a really good time doing a kind of a slow run through it, where we really went into all the corners of all the rooms and everything and checked things out, and that was a lot of fun. I'm currently looking up the bonus for you right now. You hear all those clicks, don't you? Yes. That's because I'm organized. Or not. Make sure I've got my time correct. Okay, so tomorrow's the 22nd. So, yes, we have got a +5 Treasure Hunter boost. A +5 Treasure Hunter boost. Let me check out, make sure that, okay, I did want to make sure that The game screen was up. Sometimes it's easy to lose track of that. It just happens.
Becomes coterminous with this corner of Stormreach. Dark energies are building throughout the graveyard. Destroy the undead before they threaten the rest of the city.
Oh yeah, this person's just gonna destroy in here. It's gonna be so good. Oh, hey, hi there. Oh, you got away, huh? Alright. How about now?
Not that one! It was kind of cute.
Kaboom! Can I do nothing but turn? See how far I can get. Should probably group them up together to make this all work. But let's see. Oh, yeah, but turning sucks. I forgot. Oops. I was going to just turn. Alright, let's literally just turn. See how far I get. Yeah.
The uncanny fog that accompanies the undead is so thick it prevents further progress.
One something or other sticking around.
Perhaps
oh, there you are.
If you destroy the undead, the wall of fog will dissipate. The dense fog lifts, allowing you to explore further to the east.
Can I do the boulder? No, I guess I'm gonna have to bring out more pain. That going as well on this doom sphere. There we go. Some of these I can turn.
Not that one! It was kind of cute.
I love the sentient jewel of the cold. Surprised I'm not getting these skeletons here. I have to admit. Oh, they're just a hit dice issue.
The dense fog dissipates atop the hill next to Valera's tomb. A fearsome form emerges from the mist.
Well, scarecrows, clearly I can't. However, I can implode them. Let me implode them, ha 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 ha. So I noticed that one of the things that I just recently started checking out is this momentum swing here. It's an attack, just basically does a +5 weapon, +3 crit, so it's just about a little bit of a DPS boost. And it has normally a long cooldown, but that cooldown can be reset whenever you cleave. And since I'm a hand and a half build on this cleric, I just sort of have found it's actually a fairly useful button to have for me. It's been pretty okay. And where is... here we go. Well, hi, how are you? Here, have some light damage. It's also kind of a cool looking effect. I'm mostly just trying to hit it with this other stuff I got. This is a bit of a toolbox build, so I'm not, like, super maxed out on most things, although I'm doing very well, as you can see, on turning. along with keeping the guild alive, which is obviously the main point here. But I do have some ability to defend myself and solo and all that as well. It's just the character I tend to... My current character I'm basically just playing at endgame for my own personal enjoyment is going to be this one right
the
now.
northern and southern paths near Delaris
So there we go.
You can hear the
But, as you can
shuffling
see, so let me
steps of the
move over
undead
to it just to
growing
kind of show
nearer.
you where I am lacking a bit. I do have 464 positive, and that's not terrible, but I only have 213 light spell power right now, and that's just not really where it needs to be. The more I can bring that up, the better off I'm going to be for both this Avenging Light and Divine Punishment in general. But I just haven't quite got that slotted in yet. So I've got a ways to go there, but as a general toolbox build, this one has been working very well for me. And I tend to enjoy it quite a bit. So I know sometimes people are like, well, what, you know, how is it possible to suck so bad? So consistently after so many years? And the answer to that question is, I don't. Right? But I do also kind of play my own way. And that way often does its own thing. Let's just say I define success on my own terms. As soon as I can get a implosion off, this will be much nicer. Guess I should get my R going too. My charges of Turn Undead will regenerate, as you can see here. That was pretty good. Well timed. Okay. I've just been kind of actually enjoying myself here on stream. How dare I do that? I need to get to your questions. No, I'm kidding. I love answering your questions. That's why I'm here. But before I just sit and waste these final moments not answering your questions, let me answer your questions. Is not dying one of those terms? No? Why? Why do you ask, Greg? Yeah. So, Craig, you're right. Basically, the next big push that I need to do for this character is work on that spell power here. He's just now discovered Momentum Swing. Man, my fighters have been using that forever. Well, yeah, Marching Kid, I'm sure. I've been playing clerics. And, let me see, actually... Also, I tend not to go into... I have not actually been in Legendary Dreadnought on a cleric build in quite some time, because I've been really enjoying Divine Crusader quite a bit. I think it is good. Can we use the fly spell in public? I would have to log into an admin in order to do it. This character that you're seeing here is not an admin character. This is just my regular play character on Polanis, who's level 30. And it has a couple of past lives.
Not that one. It was kind of cute.
Was there any word on a new season pass? No. We have no plans at this time to do another season pass. We've said that if we ever did want to do it in the future, we'll let you know. That remains the case. And we've not, to this point, committed to doing something like that in the future. So I want to make sure that I set the expectation that this is not something we're actually intending to do at this point. But if we were to do something like that in the future, we'll let you know. When is Feywild coming? Feywild should be here in December, probably, usually first or second week of December. Tends to be about when we do Feywild. Well, the way it'll arrive is the cookies will begin dropping, usually for about a week or so. About a week. And then the Feywild Jester arrives. And then, after the Feywild Jester leaves, or when the false... We do the reverse. Things drop, Jester arrives, and then at the end, things stop dropping, and then Jester leaves. So that'll happen generally in early December through early January.
Kobold covered in somebody else's blood!
Alright. Let me quick head on over to Facebook here. Question, will the 20% hit point boost from the set bonus from Winter stack with the legendary green steel hit point boost? I would need to double check the release notes to see what sourcing is on that hit point boost, and then compare it to the legendary green steel sourcing as well before I can answer that question.
Whee!
That would be very powerful if it did. I don't normally just turn everything when I'm in Night Revels, but it obviously is a pretty nice little tactic on this level 30 to sort of farm keys and chocolate. So I tend to use it a lot. Normally at this point I'd probably have reset out 5 minutes ago and just picked up those charges again and gone back in. But there we go. Oh, also Elizabeth, nice to see you, and thank you. Hope you have a good time. It is 1 o'clock, so I too am heading out, but let me check YouTube chat here. Can you get the Cordovan long hairstyle option? Nobody wants my hair. Ponytail with headband. I don't have a headband. I could, though. I could. Yeah. I like it. Maybe I'll wear a headband for Halloween. 'Cause why not? I will see you next week for the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Thank you so much for being here. Check out DDO.com. Check out Fables of the Feywild. You can find the second preview right now on Lamania. We've got some bonuses going on. We've got Night Revels going on and a whole bunch of cool stuff, too. We also hit our goal for Extra Life this year, and we are still raising money for Extra Life. We'll be taking part in a game day on November 7th, and that's what that chair is about there. We've got a nice little Extra Life chair that was generously sent to us from the Extra Life folks. And when that's done, I'll pass it on to someone local, probably like a shelter. Local shelter I have in mind. So there we go. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next Wednesday. Samus Grove is up next. Bye-bye.